I put together a strong parlay with odds of 6.4. Let's break it down. First event, Arsenal versus Atletico, and here I found a really interesting bet because after the first game it might seem like we are heading to another close tactical match. But if you look deeper, everything points to Arsenal taking control at home, while Atletico will be forced to respond, and that creates a completely different game script. I'll start with Arsenal, because right now this team looks like it has found a second wind at the most important stage of the season. Yes, there was a slump, yes, result dropped, but now they are clearly returning to their core identity. Solid defense combined with very structured and calculated attacking play. And that's key, because at home they are completely different team. The Emirates means control, pressure, set pieces, and very few mistakes. Also, don't forget that they are still unbeaten in this Champions League run, and that's not just a stat. It shows how strong they are structurally. In a game where the cost of mistakes is extremely high, Arsenal will play very disciplined football, but they will not give up control, because at home they have to dictate the tempo. Guys, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post match analysis every day and always try to keep you on the plus side. I also really appreciate solid criticism and your well-argued picks in the comments. I read all of them. Guys, here's my Telegram and my stats. I work as transparently and honestly as possible. I even pay taxes as an individual entrepreneur. I am one of the few in this space who actually works openly and fairly. The link is in the description below. Now let's talk about Atletico, because there are important details here as well. This is no longer the classic Simeone's low block team. They play more openly now, score more goals, and the numbers confirm it. They've been scoring consistently, and the Griezmann-Alvarez partnership is carrying their attack. But there is one key issue: away performances. In the Champions League, they look much less confident on the road, especially against top-level opponents. They made mistakes, conceded goals, and most importantly, they struggle to control the tempo. And against Arsenal, that's critical, because once you give them initiative, they can completely suffocate you with positional play. And here's the key point: Atletico can't just sit back, because a 1-1 draw doesn't give them any real advantage. They have to look for their chances, which means space will appear, and Arsenal are very good at exploiting that, especially at home. At the same time, I don't expect a crazy shootout, because both teams understand what's at stake, but a 0-0 also looks unlikely. There is simply too much attacking quality on both sides, so the overall picture is clear. Arsenal control the game, create chances, and find their moments. Atletico respond in phases, but are generally second best. That's why my main pick is 1x plus under 4.5 goals in the parlay, because Arsenal at home should at least avoid defeat, and 5 goals would be too much for a match of this intensity. And for the aggressive option, I'm taking Arsenal to win plus over 1.5 total goals at odds around 2. Because if Arsenal convert their pressure, a win with at least 2 goals is a very realistic scenario. Second event, Bayern versus PSG, and here I found a really interesting bet. Because after the first game, many might expect a more cautious and close return leg, but if you analyze it deeper, nothing really supports that idea. In fact, everything points toward another open and high-scoring game. I'll start with Bayern, because right now this is one of the most offensively aggressive teams in Europe. They've already secured the title, broken scoring records, and most importantly, they simply don't know how to play conservatively. Even when matches go against them, like against Mainz or in the first leg against PSG, they don't sit back, they push even harder. And that's the key here, because they need to come back from 4-5, which means there will be no caution at all. At home, Bayern are completely different level in terms of pressure. They immediately increases the tempo, attack through the wings, overload the box, and often scoring quick sequences. Even their rotated squad creates a lot of chances, and if the main lineup plays, the pressure from the first minutes will be massive. Now let's move to PSG, because the situation is similar but with its own nuances. Yes, they won the first match, but this is not a team that knows how to sit deep and defend the league. Their main strength is attack, and that's exactly what got them this far. Players like Kvaratskhelia, Dembele and Doué thrive in open space using speed and creativity, and Bayern will definitely give them that space because they will push forward. This creates a perfect setup for goals. Bayern need to attack and score at least 2. PSG will have opportunities on the counter-attack, especially considering Bayern defensive issues, which were clearly visible in the first game. Add fatigue, rotations, and the overall tempo. Defensive mistakes are almost guaranteed. When you put it all together, the scenario is very clear. An open game, high tempo, chances on both sides, and constant attacking pressure. This is not a low-scoring type of match at all. That's why my main pick is Bayern over 2 goals in the parlay, because at home, with this motivation and style, 2 goals look like a baseline expectation. And for the aggressive option, I'm taking PSG over 1 goal in the first half at odds around 3.2, trusting their attacking quality to deliver early.